Let's go.
Let's rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go.
Figgy Fig, best in the world at what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rockett, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go in the jacuzzi, smoking threats. I got my feet up. Cut them haters off, I told them beat it. I don't need you. Spend 50 racks in cash, but it's all good. I got my visa. This rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa. My ghetto, Nikeisha. I beat it like a creature. She always like my sneakers. These Jordan 5 pink aces. Let's go. I'm knocking them down, back to back in the row. He beat it to one, but they already know. So all of my chains go put on the show.
Giving up gins, sipping my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. Need it back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80s. We really 10 toes down on the pavement. What's up? We about to see what they say.
Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Let's go. Gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Go, let's go.
What do you have to say to everyone if we still consider the Astros cheaters?
Yeah.
Where the bitches at? It's supposed to be titties. Where the fucking titties and the bitches?
This nigga's scared. Ain't nobody scared, man. I just told you I had a DJ Saturday night. Fuck that shit.
The hogs, the pigs.
The pig pen is back. We are back in the pig pen. We thought we left it, but there's a quick little revisit to the pig pen today. We're going to get into that a little bit. Welcome, everybody, back to the Gems and Juice podcast. Another exciting edition on the table for y'all. Early recording today. Gonna get y'all out and ready for the weekend. A lot to talk about and break down. Might be a quick, brief checkup this time. When I say brief, it's gonna be like 2 hours and 30 minutes, not 3 hours. Yeah, do a 2:30. Do a 2:30. Yes, we are back at it. Another just still gonna react to things that happened this week, of course. Got the great Figgy Fig with me as well. Of course, I'm Ryan Rockett. Figgy Fig, quick checkup, man. What's new in Figgy world?
Man, it's just busy, man. So, like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, I've been working with Atomic Wings, and we just did some content with friend of the show, Jack Freeman. Freeman came through, and we actually ate the hottest wing they have. So, Atomic Wings have a wing called I want to say the nuclear wing.
Sounds scary, man.
Yeah, so it's hot. So if you check my social media, you can see the video. I posted the video of us trying it. We had to drink some milk after that, man.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I ain't drink no milk in years.
Would you ever do the hot ones challenge if you could, man, or go to hot ones and eat all them wings in a row?
I would like to try. I think that's a genius idea, by the way.
It is.
I think it's super genius, man. I mean, everybody hip to it now, but during that time, I want to say it was like 2017, maybe 2016, 2017. I'm like, man, this show is ahead of its time. I'm like, nobody's talking about this show, but it clearly blew up. But yeah, I would definitely do that show.
Yeah, no, it's a good show, man. Every time when it first started, I was like, all right, this sounds stupid. But when you actually watch it, it's actually a good interview with the person who's being interviewed too, man. You usually think it was just like him, the person eating hot wings and crying and shit. But he actually asked some really good questions, man. And it actually gets to a deep conversation sometimes. So it's actually a really good show, man.
Yeah, the first episode I ever seen was the one with Kevin Hart.
Yeah, that was a classic one.
Yeah, that was classic. He was just like, he ate the wing, and then he just got into the man. So yeah, that was a good concept, man. But
and the one with the Idris Elba with that reaction that was still being used to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, good show, man. Good show. You might need to do that, something like that for Atomic Wings, man.
Yeah, we have been doing that. I've been bringing people in, and we just kind of try the wings and have conversations. We don't try to have like a hot ones where you got to try eat the spiciest one, but I do. If I have a hot take question for you, I will bring out the hot wing, and we got to eat it. So
that's funny. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all stop by Atomic Wings, ask for the wang.
Yep.
The special, the wang, the Figgy special, the wang. Make sure y'all get that. And make sure y'all say that Figgy Fig sent you, man. So, yeah, that's dope. How's Jack doing, man?
Jack is doing pretty good. He asked about you. Yeah, man, he doing pretty good, man. He rolling around with Brian Michael Cox.
Okay.
So I guess that's his artist, or Jack Freeman is his artist. So
okay.
Yeah, Jack just released a remix to one of his songs, Undress. So the remix have Jagged Edge on there.
Okay.
That's a dope little look, man. So yeah, Jack out here working, man. Salute to Jack. And it's about time for us to get him back on the show. See,
yeah, we got to, man. We got to.
I think it's been like 2 or 3 years, I want to say.
It's been a while. I think the last time might have been the first Bun B rodeo, right?
Yeah, that was the first.
Yeah.
That had to be 2021.
Yeah,
that's
been a minute, man.
Yeah, he did. So I did ask him about the rodeo because he performed. He was there at the previous the rodeo that just happened with Bun B.
Yeah.
And Drake was there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was a little bit different with Drake being there. So they usually had like a dressing room and all that stuff. And Jack was about to go in the dressing room, and security like, no, you can't go in there. That was Drake's dressing room. He was like, the whole thing. The guy was like, so it was
having a freak off in there, man. You can't be no house parties allowed.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown was in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says a little bit different. Drake had a whole different sound crew. So it's a little bit of a hassle. Some stuff we probably wouldn't even notice as fans who was just there. But yeah, he says a little bit different. And it was like, of course, he didn't get a chance to talk to him, or he said he said they couldn't even hear the show. They didn't hear nothing he performed because it was that much of a different sound crew.
Damn.
So it was kind of bizarre. I kind of get it because Drake was in concert mode anyway, but I mean, I don't think it was that difficult or just rolling with the punches. Just give me a mic that worked, but he clearly wanted to do his own thing. So
yeah, and Drake is never like a spur of the moment type of guy, man. Everything he does has to be very pre-produced to make sure it's perfect. Like he's that kind of. I don't think there's anything wrong with that in particular, especially when you're at that level, you know. But it is. I can see how it's annoying for someone like Jack Freeman or anybody else there when it's like, all right, this is real cool last year. Now we got this bougie shit we got to deal with.
Yeah, because that's to me that I mean, and I get it because it's Drake, he's the biggest artist, but I expect something like that from like a Michael Jackson, or a Prince. That type of stuff is how they move. Where you be like, man, they bring their own microphones and their own sound equipment and all that. They ain't just about to pick up a mic and do their thing. This is Michael Jackson and Prince. Are you kidding me? So yeah, so I get it because it's Drake and clearly he's trying to chase Michael Jackson and Prince or whoever you want to pick. But yeah, so I guess he was kind of like, yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, had to make sure that auto-tune was tuned correctly, man. They want to get exposed with his real voice out there, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I got a chance to ask him, but I was going to ask him about the whole Rick Ross thing too, because remember Rick Ross was there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they didn't even see each other. They weren't even around each other, so
It sounded like Drake was segregated from everybody, man. I'm sure he just got it up with Bun B, and that was it.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, that was the whole big issue too. So,
yeah, man, one superstar on us, man. All right, Drake. But yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, shout out to Jack Freeman.
Shout out Jack Freeman, man. Make sure y'all bump his new shit, and yeah, we'll definitely try to get him back on and have another conversation again, man. Now to the main course. Things that have happened over the past week. Well, we'll not start off with Kendrick yet. We'll build up to it, man. Build up to that. NBA Finals. Let's get into some sports, man. NBA Finals came and went.
Yeah,
I almost forgot it even happened at this point.
It seemed like it been over months ago, man.
It was really over after game one, man. Honestly, they could have just ended. They could have had a shortened version of the finals and say, you know what, the Celtics going to win this regardless. But yeah, the Celtics have won. They had a gentleman's sweep of the Mavericks. They won 4-1 against, Jaylen Brown was the MVP. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The finals is over. The Celtics won another championship. Sidebar. I saw a clip of Bob Cousy talking, and he actually does sound like he's still all there, man. I thought for a second when he said that, I was like, man, that's really not him talking. That's probably his grandson or nephew. He was actually, dog, he could actually break down the game still at 95 years old.
He actually looked like he about in his 80s.
Yeah.
He don't look, because we've seen a lot of people that's in their 90s and 95, and they really don't look that good. But he looked like he could be in his 70s or 80s. And he was talking like regular. I'm like, damn, this is the same dude that was playing in 1959.
Born in 1928 or some shit, man. Like insane.
Crazy.
It is. So you have any thoughts about this NBA Finals, man? Do you care that the Celtics won or anything?
Nah, I didn't care, man. I did tweet out like, wow, another day, another Boston championship parade. I feel like they have they had to have like 13 parades since I've been alive, or since I can even remember. But it seemed like they always have a parade, man. I'm like, damn, it kind of made me jealous a little bit. Just imagine, all 3 or 4 of your teams just winning championships at one point, being able to go to a parade, man. I'm like, dang, I experienced that 3 times pretty much, 1 in Cleveland and 2 here. Yeah, it was cool, and I've been in that city before, so I kind of get it, but I'm just like, man, it's a little frustrating. Boston always winning something.
It really is, man. It really is. But what can you do? The Celtics, they had it coming, man. They've been on the brink for a few years now, so it was coming sooner or later. Hopefully, it ain't no dynasty or nothing, man. We'll see. But I was concerned how easy it seemed for them, man. Like they only lost like 1 game the whole time, right? It feels like they swept their way through the whole thing almost.
Yeah, so, I want to say they lost 2 or 3 games.
Yeah,
which is still impressive because they haven't lost more than 2 games at any point in the series. So
yeah, it seemed like it was too easy for them, man. It seemed like it was just too easy.
I did see somebody trying to say, hey, they did have they had an easy way to the finals though, because they didn't have to play. I think the first series was Miami, and they had no Jimmy Butler. Second series was the Cavs, and no Jared Allen, and no Donovan Mitchell. Like, cool. They probably would have been the same outcome, but they also avoided no Giannis.
Yeah, true.
So people saying they kind of had it easy, but who give a damn, man? A win is a win. You only play the people that's in front of you.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. And it's funny because with all these injuries, I thought load managing and all that stuff was supposed to help with this, but I guess not. So, we still had I don't know. Congratulations to them, I guess. I don't really care about the Celtics, so I really don't give a shit. I will say that this season just seemed very, very meh to me, man. Like several times I forgot the NBA was still on. The playoffs. There was a couple hype series. What was it? The Mavericks and the Timberwolves was good. There are some pretty hype
Yeah.
moments, but the finals was just flat. It was flat.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't even think I watched the whole finals game. Every time I turned to it, it just got out of control. Where I'm just like, and I'm off something else. I was playing video games, man. I'm like, nah, this is over.
Yeah, blowouts are a problem, man. Just the NBA in general. I don't know what they can do to help that, but the spamming threes means that a team that makes it is going to be way above the team that don't.
Yeah.
So I don't think it do anything with the rules about that, but it seems like there was way more blowouts this playoffs than ever before. Maybe it's just me and recency bias, but I don't know, man. It seemed kind of a lot of blowouts.
Yeah, it seemed like it kind of get like that too, because even thinking about the finals with the Cavs and the Warriors, some of those games, or I ain't gonna say all of those games, but most of those games was like blowouts where it was just like, hey, wrap it up, we on to the next game. And I think it really started getting good. I want to say when the Cavs was down 3-1. I think that's when it kind of really started getting interesting. And I want to say that game, I want to say game 6 was where it's like, oh, this is good now. It's a game now. And then with the other Cavs, the other finals, they were pretty much blowouts because they had Kevin Durant. And it was the one game where J.R. Smith kind of screwed up trying to run the clock out when it was tied. And outside of that, man, everything else been kind of blowouts. So those weren't even interesting.
Yeah, I mean, at least those had the big names to fall back on. You have Steph Curry, you had LeBron, you had the biggest names in the sport. I still don't think these new guys are there yet, man. That's the main issue. Like the transition period is still going on, and we don't have a new Steph Curry. We don't have a new Jordan. We just have a bunch of guys who are good, but not known like that.
Yeah,
so,
especially with Boston, because Jason Tatum, I think he's okay. I don't think he's a superstar where you going to see Jason Tatum. And same thing with Jaylen Brown. I don't think you're going to see Jaylen Brown. I think they're just really good players. Mm-hmm. And they got a team full of good players. And meanwhile, you got somebody like Dallas who, Kyrie, I think he's a superstar. I know Bob Cousy disagree, but I think he's a superstar, and you got Luka, who's obviously a superstar, but that's all they got.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in the NBA currently that transcends the sport, like LeBron or Steph did. And I mean, they'll get there. They'll find somebody. People want to hype up Anthony Edwards. I don't think he's going to be that guy, but we'll see. I think he's going to be a very good player. I don't think he can be the face of the league, man. I think he's too wild, man. I don't know if they're gonna let him really be the face of the league the way he be talking.
Yeah,
moving around. But
I think they really want Wemby to be the face of the league.
Yeah, he'd be a good one. He's a French guy. But then again, usually the foreign, maybe that'll be the change. This year we'll finally see like a foreign player really go over and be the face of the league. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
They tried with Giannis. It didn't really work. It didn't work with him.
Too foreign.
And in other NBA news, the LA Lakers have a new head coach officially. LeBron's buddy, JJ Redick, finally signed the papers, and I think it's a 4-year deal with the Lakers.
Yeah.
JJ Redick is now the new head coach of the Lakers. He's only a few months older than LeBron James at 39 years old.
I didn't realize he was older than LeBron.
Only like a few months.
Yeah, but it seemed like he been in college. I know LeBron came in the league when he was 18, so that's probably part of the reason. But JJ, I feel like we watched JJ Redick so long at Duke.
Yeah.
And LeBron was in the league. I think he might have came in, maybe 3 years after LeBron been in the league or something like that. So I always thought he was younger, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know till I looked it up, honestly, man. But yeah, so it's happening. Figure, do you have any thoughts about your boy from Akron making these moves? And do you think this basically? Do you think it's just going to be written in stone that they're going to get Bronny?
I think so. I think it's looking that way. I think so. I think it's funny because they trying to play it off like, oh no, we're not doing it like they LeBron and Bronny is not a package deal guy. Like, come on, give me a break. I think so. I think more importantly, I think the Lakers want to keep LeBron there until he retire. So I don't think they want him walking away. But yeah, this was a hire. I don't care what nobody say. This was a hire because of LeBron, and I do think they're going to try to get Bronny unless somebody crazy enough to draft him early. Which I think that's what Rich Paul and them trying to do. They trying to get somebody to jump and get him in early. But if he fall to the Lakers, I think he going to the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers going to pass up on Bronny. But I don't know. I guess it's kind of smart for LeBron team to do that. But I feel so bad for Bronny, man, because I don't know if he ever going to be anything. But all this pressure, man, it's like his dad is taking over his life, man. I don't even know if dude really want to play basketball. But I feel so bad for him, man, because it's like like when he stink it up, people are going to crush that dude. And I know he got money and all that stuff, so it don't matter. But like that, they gonna crush that dude worse than they crushed LeBron. So, but yeah, I think they are gonna. I think if Bronny is right there for them, I think they're gonna take him.
Yeah, it's gonna. They just need to get it over with, man. Like the whole thing with JJ Redick, they were playing this. Will they? Won't they? They're going after the UConn guy. He turns it down. It's like, oh, okay, now we're gonna get JJ. You wanted JJ from the start, man. Why even do this whole song and dance? I do remember something you said when you talked about how when LeBron left the Cavs, you were kind of happy because even though he's one of the best players ever, you were happy to not deal with the circus every offseason of is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? And I feel like that's what the Lakers fans are going through right now, man. I kind of wish they wish LeBron would just retire at this point,
Yeah.
because they I don't. This is a joke. What's going on with the Lakers, man? You hire JJ Redick, first time, had never coached anything in his life. I don't care how good his podcast is, man. Never coached anything. And you think he's going to turn this team around? You think LeBron and Bronny is worth sacrificing a whole season? You could be rebuilding and getting picks and drafting a high talent. Now they got to entertain this bullshit for another season that they probably going to miss the playoffs or get to play in and lose. So I don't know. I feel bad for Lakers fans in general, man. Well, actually, I don't because a lot of them bandwagon motherfuckers anyway. But yeah, I know it has to suck to have to deal with the circus every single year.
It's stressful, man. And then it's like at least Laker fans are always gonna have some Laker fans no matter what. But Cavs fans, come on, let's be real. Ain't nobody outside of Cleveland a diehard Cavs fan.
Yeah.
Until LeBron got there. And so you got all the Nick Wrights and all the random ass people that's more LeBron fans than Cavs fans. And all of this, he was looking at houses in Houston, or he was looking at the school system in LA. I wonder if he'd leave it. Or, he didn't talk to the GM and all this drama and stuff. I'd rather lose at this point. We got a championship. If you want to leave, go ahead, just leave. Let's rebuild. Let's stay low and build. Because it's so stressful. It's not like LeBron is thinking I ain't going nowhere. This is home. He don't do that type of stuff. He milk everything. And as a fan, it's stressful. Where you don't want to deal with that. Hell, I don't even want him to entertain the possibility of coming back to Cleveland. They ain't gonna do nothing but try to sell some pieces and hey, let's championship or bust. And I don't want him trying to bring along Anthony Davis and all these old hacks that trying to build a super team and all this. It's like, nah, man. Like either you gonna come back and you gonna fit into what we're doing, or you just stay over there. Because like it been embarrassing what the Lakers been going through, man. All these different head coaches, and like I ain't saying I ain't saying Darvin Ham was like the best coach ever. I don't really know much about him, but before they hired him, they were saying they need like a Darvin Ham type of coach. They need somebody like that, and you get rid of them after 2 years. So it's just like, man, what are y'all doing? I said it before, man. They looking like how the Knicks used to look past couple years.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Knicks turned it around, and they, there's some promise there, but at one point nobody wanted to go to the Knicks when they looking like the Knicks with Phil Jackson, and it's looking silly, man. They looking like the Knicks with Derek Fisher when Derek Fisher was the coach. They just I don't know what's going on, man, and I doubt they'll do this, but once LeBron leave, they just need to start over and rebuild their whole image, man. Stop firing these coaches. Just stick with somebody, try to rebuild that image, because it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that's the LeBron effect, though, man. LeBron ain't gonna go nowhere and just fit in, man. He gonna be LeBron. He got to run the show where he is, man. So
I did see something. Bill Simmons actually, I don't know if he tweeted this or said it on the podcast, and I 100% agree with this. If I were a team like Boston or something like that, I don't know how many picks they got, but I would draft Bronny just out of spite and just hold him hostage. If I'm Utah or some regular team that good and well LeBron ain't gonna go to, I would just draft Bronny, keep him at the end of the bench, keep him in the G League or something, and just kind of troll a little bit.
It would be funny if you pulled a Kobe and just refused to go there or or play there.
That would really make them look bad, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would draft him just out of spite.
Yeah. I mean, that would be ridiculous for somebody to waste a draft pick on that, man, especially a guy who's not going to get many minutes no matter where he plays. So, yeah, I don't know. I wish Bronny well, but it's unfortunate he has to be in this sport with his dad, man, making all these shots, but it is what it is. Big Sarge on X, shouts out Figgy. What's going on, Sarge?
What's up, man? We got to get you on one day, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Break down some text and stuff, man. Getting close to the are we already in training camp? I haven't been keeping up, man.
Training camp is next month. I think it starts 15, 16, somewhere around there. So we close.
Getting there. All right. Without further ado, let's break down the biggest show maybe this year so far. Kendrick Lamar had a show in LA. The Pop Out Ken and Friends. He had a few. I didn't see the whole thing. Honestly, I missed it. I was at the gym and I saw it came on. I was like, I ain't going home for this show.
Yeah, I turned it on when Roddy Ricch was performing.
Okay.
When I got to it. I think the other ones is too much in the sticks for me, man. I'm not from the West Coast. I don't know too much about their culture, so there's a lot of West Coast stuff that was going on that I probably couldn't relate to, so I probably ain't missed much.
Be honest, man. Did it get annoying after a while, the West Coast glazing?
Yeah. Like, look, I think it's totally fair, man, to say, hey, I'm not from the West Coast. Look, no disrespect to their culture or anything, but I don't have a take on this. I'm gonna just sit this one out. This one ain't for me. And I told you a bunch of times, man, I'm not a fan of that Bay Area sound. I don't really care for DJ Mustard. And they were really doing that. I like the old school Dr. Dre, that West Coast sound, but this new dancing and hyphy and E40, that type of stuff, I was never a fan of. So I was perfectly fine with not saying this is a moment and the Bloods and Crips together and the Pyrus. I'm just like, all right, that's something I didn't grow up on. So I don't get it. I ain't gonna fake it and act like I understand it.
I was gonna bring that up later, but might as well get into it now, man. Yeah, I thought that was the whole we got, you don't know how big a moment this is. We got all these sets up here, we got all the gangs up here. I look at that stage, man. I see a bunch of 30 and 40-year-olds. Everybody up there look way too old to gang bang, dog. I'm sorry. Like, at what point does this gang shit get corny? If you're old head, like you got niggas with gray hair throwing up sets and shit. I'm like, yeah.
Walking around with
What's that?
I said walking around with bandanas and
the way it was dressed, man. I'm like, dog, I don't I can't really fuck with it. I could see if there was like in their 20s or something real young. This happened like 10, 15 years ago. But like these niggas is old, dog. They too old to be repping sets and gang banging, I feel. And it felt a little bit corny to me. Maybe I just don't get the culture. I don't know.
Yeah, look, that's exactly what it is. I don't get the culture. Like I grew up around, hoods and all that stuff, but to me, like you can't sit there and tell me, hey, you need to understand how important this is. I'm not from over there. So I don't give a damn. and I felt like it was a little bit ironic how the whole purpose of the concert was and I know people trying to spin it like, oh, it was I seen Big Boy from the radio host talking about it was more praise for Kendrick. It was like highlighting Kendrick and not really the Drake beef, but this was all because of the damn Drake beef, man. Let's be 100% honest. And I thought it was ironic how they preaching togetherness and getting people together and the Bloods and the Crips and the Pyrus together. And right after that, you perform a song dissing the dude. So I'm just kind of like, I feel like it was a little bit irony there, but I don't know. I just couldn't relate to it. And I just hate when people get on other people for not understanding it. Like even the guy, it was a guy in a clown suit, Tommy the Clown. I wasn't familiar with Tommy the Clown. I wasn't into that. A lot of people saying, oh, you got to check out this documentary from 2002 and all this, which is cool. I ain't saying nothing bad about him, but don't clown everybody else, no pun intended, on not knowing who this guy is. Like y'all said that the West Coast is totally different. That's on a whole other side of the country. Like everybody ain't supposed to know who Tommy the Clown is, man. I can't get mad at you because you don't know who a guy is from the Midwest or Cleveland is. Like that's not even fair on you. But it was a lot of people just acting like they know everything and this is how it's done. And it's just like, all right, man, it's cool. I mean, salute to Kendrick for doing something like that. I think the West Coast needed that. I felt like they took a couple L's with, Kobe and Nipsey and stuff like that. I feel like they never really had a moment. But don't sit here and act like we all stupid because we don't know who Tommy the Clown is. Like, just take that time to educate people, man. I just hate people trying to get on their high horse. It's like, dog, we don't know who that is, man. Like, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that reminds me when people got mad at you for not knowing who Marvin Zindler was. People got to realize, like, your local legends, nobody cares about them outside your local residents. All right? Let's be real, man. Like, unless they're a level like Tupac, who, by the way, wasn't a West Coast dude, but that's a whole nother discussion entirely. But unless you're like icon status, nobody outside your area cares about your local legends, man. All right, if they didn't grow up watching the news as a kid, they're not going to know who Marvin Zindler is, man. All right, they're not going to know who Tommy the Clown is, man. All right, this stuff is not common knowledge that everybody knows outside of LA or Houston or wherever.
Yeah, I ain't about to sit here and say how you ain't gonna know Kicking It with Kenny is. It's a guy from Cleveland. He's like a local legend because he had a segment on the news on the morning show called Kicking It with Kenny, and it was pretty much a generic, hey, I'm out here at this place, and talk about what you got going on. Just a guy that's all over Northeast Ohio. It's like, man, like everybody don't know who that is, man. It's the reason why it's a local reporter. So I don't know. Sometimes people just need to relax, and I don't know. It's just frustrating, man.
It is, and I'm not even going to talk about how the crowd did not look like the kind of crowd we'd expect from the music that was playing and the people they was trying to shout out. But we'll talk about that a little bit. Let's get back to the show, man. Let's get back to the show itself. So, like, I only watched the Kendrick portion of it. Now Kendrick, first he starts off by himself. He does the diss songs, which I didn't surprise me. I'm surprised he did Euphoria so early.
I'm surprised he started off with it. Yeah.
Yeah. He even did 616 in LA, which I didn't think he'd do. He did not do Meet the Grams, but I'm not surprised that's not really a tour show. A tour song.
Side note, I don't know if you was watching as they were gearing up before Kendrick came on, but you noticed they were playing Eminem Stan as like some of the music.
I heard a few Eminem songs. I didn't hear Stan though.
Yeah, they played Stan. That was so rant. I think it was right after I want to say DJ Mustard performed, and you know how they play a little music in between, and yeah, they played Eminem Stan. I'm like, that's a mood killer. Like that mood, like I don't never want to hear the song Stan like in the concert place if it's not Eminem performing it. I'm like, dang, that song don't get you hype at all.
Yeah, that's kind of a headphone song, man. Like it is a classic. I think it's one of the best written songs in hip hop. Like the concept is just crazy for that song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't play it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't play it during the DJ set. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, that's kind of scaring the hoes to me.
Yeah. But then again, there's a lot of white people there, man. They needed some Eminem. Maybe the guy didn't know what Eminem song to play. Like, he did that Stan song, right? Let's play Stan. He might have not known any other Eminem songs.
They played the whole song too. I guess it was like on the shuffle. Like I don't know if they had like a playlist going, but that was one of the songs. I was just like, damn, that's random.
Yeah, that's funny though. So Kendrick did bring out some guests. He brought out pretty much all of the TDE rappers. He brought out Schoolboy Q, J Rock, Absol. Kind of surprised there was no SZA. I thought it'll be nice for them to do that song from Black Panther.
Well, she ain't in the West Coast. She ain't from the West Coast.
That's true. Maybe that's the reason. But that would have been another knife, like a little tiny knife to stick in Drake. The fact that we already had Drake shout out YG on Family Matters, and then YG was there dancing and Not Like Us.
Yeah.
So it would have been another one for SZA to come out when Drake mentioned SZA got you wiped down, and what was that song? Push Ups. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a little extra, but she didn't show up. Or I don't know what happened there, but yeah, she wasn't there. But still a TDE Black Hippie reunion. Also had a surprise appearance by Dr. Dre, who actually did a couple songs. He did what was it? It's Still DR. He did Still DRE, and he did California Love.
Yeah.
And then he did the intro for Not Like Us, which Kendrick ran back 5 times in a row.
Real quick before we get to that, I just want to say something about Dr. Dre. Did you feel like it was a little bit weird him performing like that? It seemed like I don't know if he just way out of touch or he just got way too corporate, but it seemed like he's not. It felt like he ain't really got the slang how he used to have when, back in the day. I guess it seemed like it was a guy that just went to college and was doing karaoke. He didn't really have that Compton. Wherever he from, I think he from Compton. He ain't really had that Compton swag like he used to. And he probably haven't been in Compton in years, but it looked super funny him performing his own songs, and he seemed a little more proper rapping these songs.
Well, look, man. Like, when's the last time he had been in that type of environment? Now we had the Super Bowl. Did you think he sounded weird at the Super Bowl?
Not really. Not really. I guess I didn't really come across as weird, but this one did kind of come across weird. Like, I don't know. It was like, and look, I get it. If he, you ain't got to be in that environment, but it's a lot of rappers that haven't been in that environment for a long time that still, Snoop can still be Snoop. But it seemed like Dr. Dre, it seemed like he just put on this interview voice and was rapping California Love. I'm just like, dang, this don't sound the same. It was cool, but it just didn't sound the same. It sounded a little bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what happens when you never perform your stuff anymore, man. Like outside of Super Bowl and this, when's the last time he did any live performance of his music, man? He probably forgot the words and he had to look them back up before these shows. Yeah. But I mean, he's also almost 60. So at some point, it just looks like you're a old businessman coming to cosplay as a rapper. But nevertheless, I thought it was a cool little moment, man. I thought it would have been cool if Snoop Dogg came out, but apparently he's on tour or something in Canada. Maybe he didn't want to make it more rough for him over there.
People was calling him out. They're like, oh, he must have been taking Drake's side and he shouldn't have posted that Drake song and all this other stuff. But Snoop actually mentioned Kendrick and said salute to him, and you the king of LA or whatever you said. Well, I think he had to say something because rumors was going around like, oh, Kendrick ain't invite him. Kendrick ain't invite Game and Game and Snoop. And got the they shouldn't have been riding with Drake.
Yeah, I think Snoop had an open invite, I'm sure. He just and look, I get the fact that not everybody wants to be drawn in this beef, man. Yeah. All right. Not everybody wants to be drawn in this shit. Snoop over there in Canada, I don't think he wants to deal with some fake ass mob ties problems or whatever you got to deal with over there. So I get it, man.
I don't even think I think just his schedule was tied up.
That too.
Yeah, because I don't think he's going.
But then again, Snoop can make it, man. Snoop is everywhere for the big moments, I feel. So if he really wanted to go, he would go. But then again, I understand if he, if it's the fact that you don't want to get drawn in some beef, plus you're doing other shit, I get it.
Yeah.
But it would have been a nice moment regardless, man. But I understand.
Yeah.
The Game, I really don't care. Like, come on, man. Did anybody expect the Game to come out?
No. Pretty much endorsing Drake.
Right.
He was playing this Drake. He's playing Drake diss songs. So I didn't really expect that.
And not even if he sided with Kendrick, the idea in his head that he's on a level of like a Dre or Snoop or Tupac or any of these West Coast legends is really ridiculous, man. And I like Game's music, dog. I think he's a good rapper. I think his first two albums are borderline classics. But the idea that he's respected like a legend in hip hop on the West Coast is a little exaggerated, man. I don't think it is mainly his fault because he made himself very corny with all this fake beef and stuff he's been doing. But I whenever I see a gathering of West Coast legends, I don't think, oh, when's Game gonna come out?
Yeah.
So I don't know where he gets in his mind, but I just don't see it that way.
I do think I think Kendrick, I don't know what their relationship at all, but I feel like Kendrick probably would have at least had him there, or one of these DJs or somebody would have had him there. I'm not saying he'd be on stage with Dre and all that, but at some point in the show, before Kendrick, I felt like he could have been there or should have been there. I would say should have been there, but I think I don't know. I don't know if he communicate with Kendrick like that or they had that relationship anymore. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, it could be anything, man. I can't call it. But I wasn't surprised that he wasn't there. He went on IG Live trying to explain it, but basically,
I seen him. Somebody posted, "Oh, he explained why he wasn't there," and I think it said like 13 minutes. I'm just I don't care to hear about this. Man.
I really don't care, man.
I don't care that much. If it was like maybe 45-second clip, I'm like, oh, let me see what he got to say. But no, I'm not watching no 13 minutes of him trying to explain on Instagram Live.
Anytime somebody talks over, if it's over like a 2-minute clip, I'm probably not clicking on it, man. 13 minutes, nah. I'll skip on that. Miguel on YouTube says, "Happy Friday, gentlemen. Happy Friday, Miguel. Hope you're doing well, dog. Hope you're having a good Friday, man." So anyway, back to the show. They ended off with Not Like Us being run back like 5 times. Took a group picture with a bunch of people from the West Coast. Random people was there. Westbrook was on stage. Russell Westbrook, for some reason, was up there dancing. DeMar DeRozan, random NBA players, man. DJ Mustard showed up as well. A lot of people came through. We mentioned YG and all that. So
who else? Ty Dolla $ign was there. Dom Kennedy.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know what they looked like, honestly.
Steve Lacy, Tyler the Creator.
Yep.
Roddy Ricch, YG, and then Black Hippie.
Yep, and a lot more that I didn't recognize, but they're having a good time, man. It seemed like almost a cookout environment at the end with everybody dancing to the song, and it looked a good time. Look, I'm not a fan of the song. It's still, I'm still not a fan of this song. Not Like Us, man. But I will admit, like, it does seem to go in a party atmosphere, man. It was having a good time. It was good to see, so I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Now, Figgy, what were your thoughts in general on this show? Do you think it lived up to the hype? And where do you think Kendrick goes next? Is he dropping this year? Is he going to go on tour? What's going on?
I think overall, the show lived up to its hype. I think it was cool because it wasn't just based on Kendrick, but you had Ty Dolla $ign, you had the Black Hippie reunion, Tyler the Creator. You had some big names in there like that. So I thought it was a nice production. Everything was shot clean. Audio was clean. And as far as Kendrick performance, I thought he did a great job. I was hoping it wasn't gonna be just like just rapping these diss songs and all that stuff. But he obviously played his 3 diss songs, and he a lot of other stuff that I didn't expect to hear. Like it was cool him and Schoolboy Q performing Collard Greens.
Yeah,
like just little stuff like that. We should be like, oh man, that's that's dope. Seeing both of them on stage like that. And I think I was really impressed because I've seen Kendrick Lamar in person before. It was more the TDE tours. But I was really impressed of how good he can perform, man, as far as like rapping his songs. It sounds just like the song. He had no back vocals and he wasn't rapping over his vocals and all that stuff. He was he did a really good job, especially with diss songs. The Not Like Us song, I was really impressed how well he knew that song. Yeah, I know that sounds weird to say because he wrote the song, but a lot of rappers don't know their lyrics, man. And to me, this show you how serious he takes this, how I guess the performance really matters for him. And just to sit there and just rap a diss song like this, and he stopped to start talking to somebody else, doing something else, and they got back on track. Everything just sounds so perfect. I'm like, man, how did he memorize this like this? So I was really impressed by that, man. Salute to him. I felt like it was a really good show. Like me watching it outside of the gangs on the stage and all that stuff. But the actual performance I felt like was really, really good, man. He smoked it, man.
Yeah, I thought it was good too, man. I thought I enjoyed it. Like you said, his breath control is really crazy, man. The fact that he has this crazy style and he can actually replicate it on stage live is pretty insane, man. Yeah, the diss songs, even though it's only like 3 songs he did, it's still impressive that he memorized it in a pretty short time, man. Because there's a lot to unpack in those songs, and yeah, it's a lot to memorize, especially to go and do it live. So I did notice in Euphoria, I don't know if it was intentional, but there were some things that were changed in that song. He repeated some parts of the verse 2 times, and I don't know if he just kind of forgot and rolled with it or it was intentional. But besides that, it was pretty much flawless, man. And it was a very good live performance. I saw the TDE tour as well, and I think it was 2018 in Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, and just it's crazy to think how far he's come, even though he's only dropped like one album since then.
Yeah.
You think about it, in 2018 and 2024, he's only dropped one album. And now he's doing stadiums and just has this electric energy, and everybody's watching on Amazon, and it's just crazy, man. Yeah. So I did enjoy it a lot. I like the Dr. Dre pop out thing. I thought that was a cool little moment. I thought the Black Hippie thing was cool. Yeah, it was a very good show. Very good show. Do I have any issues with it? Not that I can think of. Now, usually I think playing a song over and over again is kind of played out now. I think after it was Kanye and Jay-Z did Niggas in Paris like 20 times in a row.
Yeah.
After they did that, it feels like everybody tried to jump on that and start doing their biggest song over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And usually I think it's kind of corny, but I get it here. I get it.
This one, I feel like it made sense. It felt like the crowd never really died down from it.
Yeah.
And to me, I felt like it was I was really shocked at how the crowd was so hyped over this song and singing these songs word for word. And when it got to that part, A minor, it just got so loud in there, man, where I'm just like, damn. Like this, to me, when I heard that, I'm like, man, I thought about Drake. I'm like, damn, you got a whole stadium saying A minor, like that never happened. And we often talk about the Pusha T thing, and it didn't really do nothing for his career. Actually, his career, I feel like his career blew up even more after that. I feel like he got a little more famous after that. But this one, man, this is something different, man. I don't know how he gonna bounce back from this. I'm sure he gonna put out some songs. It's gonna go #1, but I felt like this is something else. Nobody was going around singing Story Audi Don, but people gonna be going around playing this song. He gonna have to deal with going to a club and somebody throwing this song on, and looking at the reaction. So that's the first thing I thought about when I seen that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that too, man. I think if Drake really wanted to be strategic, he should have dropped something the night that Kendrick had this thing. He should have dropped another diss like Psych It Ain't Over and dropped another diss.
I thought about
it. Crazy.
Yeah, I thought about that because I seen somebody mention Drake was doing some type of Sirius XM radio. I forgot the name of it, but he was doing something. I want to say it was today on Friday. And I'm like, damn, it would have been smart if he did it on Wednesday. If he, dropped a diss song on Wednesday, they kind of throw everything off. And I would love to see what Kendrick would have did if he would have premiered a different diss song at some point, which probably wouldn't have went right, because if you out in the crowd, you ain't gonna have the best reaction premiering the new song. But I would like to see how Kendrick would have rolled if he found out Drake dropped a song right before his performance or right before the show.
He probably would have cracked out Meet the Grams. He probably would have broke the glass and said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do the song. He spared him from that one song. But if Drake dropped a diss, I'm sure he might have went to the well and said, hey, I got to do it now. So, yeah, man, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't do anything. But then again, this goes back to what I said. If he can't drop heat now, it means he doesn't have heat.
Yeah.
He don't have nothing in the tuck to release to get people's mind off this beef, man.
It got to be something better than what Kendrick dropped.
Yeah, and he just can't do it right now for whatever reason. I hope he does something, because I've seen Drake stands fighting for their life, man. Our buddy Kev, I fuck with you, Kev, but you in these comments looking sad, dog. This cope you got going on, man. You just got to admit he took it on his chin and got to let it go, dog. But
what's funny is I felt like the day of that concert, that night of that concert, it was pretty much quiet. I ain't really see a lot of Drake stands like saying, oh, this is whack or anything like that. I feel like they had to sleep on it And the next day they were going in. Thursday, they were going in like, oh, Kendrick had to get all of these dudes together on stage for one person. And they were just trying to spin in every way. I seen somebody say, oh, they all on that stage because of Drake. So who's the real star? I'm just like, man, that's all y'all got. So you trying to use, so that whole big concert, y'all trying to spin it and say this is because of Drake and Drake should get the credit for it. Like, dog, that don't make any sense. If that's the case, Meek Mill deserved credit for Drake making back to back. So Meek Mill gave him a hit. So that don't even sound right, but I was y'all wait.
Not only that, it also makes Drake look very stupid because okay, your comeback is that he gave his biggest enemy in rap a huge show and huge streaming numbers and several #1 records. Like that makes Drake look dumb. So I don't get how that's supposed to be a win for Drake.
I know
he made his op the most powerful dude in rap right now, man. So where's the win in that for him?
Yeah, even when Drake said on the Heart Part 6, where he's like, well, look like I got you off the couch to rap again. It's just like, man, that's not a humble brag, man. Like, no, that's not anything cool to brag about.
Yeah, and I already know that's going to be the angle he takes from now on with this beef, man. He's going to say, well, this only happened because of me. They only did this because of me. I brought the West Coast together because of me. Like, he's going to go that route.
20 on 1, 20 versus one person.
Exactly. The passive-aggressive route, I think he's going there. I think the more shocking thing to me, because I think Drake is going to be fine career-wise, man. He's going to drop music. I think most of his fans, like we talked about on this podcast, they don't care about rap beef. You know, they're just going to bump his music whenever or whatever drops. But I still think he's peaked. I don't think he's going to see the same numbers and respect that he's gotten before this beef happened. But the more shocking thing to me is like how everybody in his camp that fuck with him has jumped ship. Like who is left publicly that is still in Drake's corner? 21 and Sexy Red.
Yeah.
Who is anybody else?
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby. We don't have confirmation on that. He's lost so many friends in his beef, man. He lost ASAP. He lost Travis. He lost Future. He lost YG, I guess. YG's coming out. Like Tyler the Creator was a Drake fan. He brought Drake out for his concert. And now Tyler up there bumping Not Like Us, dancing on stage, man. So it seems like he's almost lost all of his friends in rap over this beef. So I don't know, man. That's a crazy spot to be in. Like I said, he'll be okay musically, but in terms of who he's going to collab with, is there anybody left that's going to fuck with him outside of like a new up and coming artist, of course? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be super interesting because even with the whole show last night, and I felt, and this is where I really got to respect Kendrick too, because I didn't know what to expect. I know Kendrick was the type that just be talking smack and being disrespectful. He ain't do none of that. The only disrespectful thing he did was perform the song. He didn't go put a little mustard on it by saying, you know, these Toronto dudes think they running the West Coast. He ain't do none of that, man. He just kept it straight and professional, man. It's really impressive. It's really impressive how this dude, you know, pretty much he ain't do no side talking. He just dropped the music and that was it. He ain't do nothing extra saying you a punk or you pussy. He ain't say nothing. He just straight up just released the records, did a whole concert and performed the records. I thought that was really impressive, man.
Yeah, it was, man. That was a smart play to do. You know, don't make it about the beef. Make it about West Coast unity or whatever. You know, make it about being a big moment in hip hop. But don't make it about Drake because that makes it seem a little extra corny. Like, yo, you did a show to this Drake. But
and see, that's why I disagree with the people that keep saying that. like he didn't say any. He ain't put Drake picture up on the jumbotron. He didn't do none of that. He just performed the song. And look, to be fair, it'd be one thing if he just performed those songs. He performed Euphoria. He did a couple other, songs from back in the day. He did 616 in LA, and then of course Not Like Us. It wasn't just strictly about Drake, man. This was more about the West Coast and just kind of, having fun.
Yeah. And it had to be that, man. He had to make it about that and not just about one person. But yeah, I don't know where Drake got to drop something to give his fans ammunition, though. I'll say that much. Yeah. I don't know what Maul going through right now. I ain't checked it on their podcast, but I don't know what he's going through, man. But he's got to do something to give his fans a little more ammunition than this.
They going through it right now, man.
This hope I'm seeing is just pathetic, man. Y'all got to have something a little better than this if you want to have an internet debate about Kendrick and Drake.
Dude, but, man, Academics had a rough night that night because he was actually watching it and streaming too. He tweeted Dave Free and Whitney were not in attendance tonight, and they were in attendance.
I saw Whitney and the kids were there.
Yeah, so he tweeted this and people started blowing up his mentions like, no, they hear it, had to delete it. And then it's another account. I don't know if you follow this account, but Certified Jared, he kind of tried to like promote other stuff, music and all this other stuff, but he's a Drake stan. And he put the laughing emojis on the clown, on Tommy the Clown. Like he wasn't real. I don't know what he was trying to say. I guess he was just laughing like this is a joke type thing. But all on West Coast people started beating him up in the comments like you start calling him white boy because I guess he white. But they're like, you don't know nothing about West Coast culture. State. He had to delete that. So it was just funny looking at all these real-time reactions to stuff. And then when I go to the tweet, it's like this post been deleted. Where they like, first of all, he cut off the mentions. So nobody, unless he follow you or something, then you can reply to it. Yeah. And then he just went on delete it, man. I'm just like, man, y'all are looking pathetic right now.
Yeah, it was best for them to just take the day off, man. They should have just not been on social media that day because the straws that are being grasped at to make this look bad for Kendrick is just not working, man. Look, like I said, Drake got to give them some more ammunition. He's letting his army is dying out here, man. He's got to send some first aid, emergency, something. Drop a One Dance Part 2, man. Like, do something because these niggas are going through it, dog. They need help. They need backup.
Yeah. So Maul tweeted during that performance, this DV set going crazy. he going to domestic violence.
Come on, man.
So I'm just like, all right, man, whatever.
And Maul, with his past history of tweets that he been called out for, I don't think he need to be saying anything about that, man.
Yeah, people pointed that out too. And it's funny because right after that, somebody tweeted and said, Chris Brown going to perform next. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, man. Look, one of my friends in Cleveland, he made a perfect post on Facebook. He pretty much said, hey, I'm a Drake fan. I just got to sit this one out. And to me, I think we need to see more tweets and comments like that. Because it's cool. Look, I was a Dipset fan. And when that versus happened, they got completely embarrassed. Look, I had to sit that one out, man. I was wrong. And, I was a fan of Dipset and the Locks, but I was team Dipset for sure. And I was like, oh, they got all the hits. They got more hits and more mainstream. I said everything. They got completely embarrassed. I had to sit this one out, man. Like, no excuses. I can't say, oh, this and that and all that stuff. No excuses. They got completely embarrassed. I gotta shut up on this one.
Yeah, there's certain things like we talked about this before on the podcast, man. I don't understand defending a guy you don't know to the death in any case, man. I understand if it's somebody that's close with him and like, Ma, they done hung out. I get it. It's still disgusting to see, but I get it. Academics, he gets fed information from Drake. I kind of get it. But everybody else, people who be standing for nothing, for free 99, I don't get it, man. Like, what makes you incapable of just admitting that Drake took an L? Does it matter? He could still be your favorite artist. Look, Jay-Z said time and time again, Jay-Z's my top #1 rapper of all time. He took an L with Ether. There's no getting around it, man. He lost that one. I don't care that he lost. It didn't affect me personally. People who are these super fans just can't take any kind of L, man, and just with grace and dignity.
Yeah,
it's the same, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, even the media people, you can see some of the media people that was a little upset about this too. Like you got somebody like Funk Master Flex. Let me read you what he tweeted, which I was shocked because I'm like, dog, you've been part of hip hop since damn near since the beginning. But he tweeted this. I have a Drake Kendrick question. Was it a lyrical competition or marketing / career relaunch? I need to understand what are the rules in the lyrical battle. First of all, why don't you understand the rules of a lyrical battle out of all people? And so you clearly talking about Kendrick Lamar, talking about some a career relaunch. So I feel like a lot of these people, I think Ebro said some of the same stuff too, just randomly, where you're clearly, kind of siding with Drake at this point. So it's like, man, it's either that or they just got that East Coast bias where they don't really care about anything West Coast because they probably still stuck on the whole Tupac thing and all that. But I'm just like, man, out of all people, why is you asking questions how a lyrical battle is supposed to be? So like a lot of people starting to show their colors, man, and they clearly trying to get an OVO jacket or something. But it's looking real embarrassing.
Now, did he have that same commentary for Nas when he dropped Ether? Because was that a marketing plan for him too? Because the idea, look, Nas back at that time, the consensus was he was kind of falling off, man. You had a lot of New York rappers making noise, and nobody was talking about Nas like that, man. At that point, that beef revived his career. And he built off that. But I'm sure Funk Master Flex had nothing to say then, and now he wants to call this a marketing plan or scheme. Come on, man.
Yeah. This is what Ebro tweeted. Can someone explain why an artist that puts out music frequently is considered by some better than one that does not? So I'm like,
so just because he makes a lot of music means that he's better? Like, does quality not matter anymore in music?
That's what I'm saying.
Drop a lot of music and that's it.
So if that's the case, then Gucci Mane is better than Jay-Z.
Everybody.
And I'm sure they wouldn't like that. So I don't know. I feel like people starting to embarrass themselves now. I just thought about this. Maybe it is some type of West Coast bias. Maybe they just still feel some type of way about West Coast music, West Coast artists, and all that stuff. Because I just don't get it, man.
It probably is that, man. These people were active when the Biggie and Tupac war happened. I get Funk Master Flex is never gonna be a West Coast dude, man. All right, because he was friends with Biggie. But other people, man, I think it could be a West Coast bias.
Yeah,
people don't like him.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, like, and Funk Master Flex, I don't know if he still have an issue with Drake, but he was on Meek's side at one point. And this whole Drake and ghostwriting thing, he was the voice of that. And like, I think it's more of a West Coast. I think this is even past Drake. I think this is more just kind of hating on Kendrick Lamar because they have no access to him. He don't look out for them or anything. I think it's more of a Kendrick Lamar West Coast thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I mentioned, if you get a relationship with him, with Drake, you're not gonna ruin it over some beef, over side with Kendrick.
a dude you don't have a relationship with at all.
Yeah, and that's why I low key respect Rory a little more after this, man. Because at least he could call a spade a damn spade, man. At least he could be realistic. With Maul doing all these mental gymnastics, trying to act like the Kendrick shit wasn't all that. At least he could admit that okay, Kendrick got him. At least he could admit that much. It's somebody who has access to Drake and then went to his parties and all that. I can respect him for at least admitting that much. But some of these people, I don't even think they get invites like that. They're just hoping to get in that circle. And I think they might see some vulnerability. They're like, hey, let me establish myself as a Drake stan and see if I can get to the next OVO party that's going down.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, man. I just don't like these media people going out like this.
Yeah, especially when you're supposed to be impartial. That's why hip hop journalism is in the trash now, man. That's why I don't cry whenever an artist drops and goes to do an interview with Rolling Stone or something, and not Funk Master Flex or Elliott Wilson. Y'all done shown y'all true colors, man. All right, we know y'all got agendas and shit. At least we can, if he goes to GQ or something, we can admit there's probably going to be a more impartial interview.
Yeah.
Compared to y'all who done got agendas and all this stuff you done spilled out and let us know that you're not going to be impartial. You got your own biases. We know how you operate. So I'm not going to cry if somebody doesn't do the hip hop journalist racket. It doesn't go to Hot 97 for an interview. He goes somewhere else. I get it because y'all are biased.
They trying to be cool. They're trying to be cool on somebody so they could get an interview, the exclusive interview. So that's one of the reasons why everybody was so pro Drake, because they wanted to get that interview. And the dude ain't doing nothing but using y'all and going right to somebody like a Kai Cenat, or what's that white girl, Bobby?
Yeah,
he ain't gonna do nothing but go to one of these streamers or somebody that we never even heard of. But he gonna shoot that text and like, hey, bro, I got you, or I send you a unreleased song or something like that. But he gonna go right to the white folks or somebody that's not even in this hip hop field.
100%, man. Seen it time and time again. So yeah, I don't get the whole jumping out the window for all this when it's not going to work like that for you. But hey, whatever works for y'all, I guess, man. But that's just why I don't personally cry when somebody skips the whole Hot 97, Funk Master Flex, Elliott Wilson Rap Radar interviews, and they want to cry about it. Look, y'all showed y'all colors. I don't care. So yeah, where do you think Kendrick goes from here, man? Do you think he's gonna drop an album this year?
I'm not sure if he's gonna drop an album this year, but I see he is in the works of shooting a video for Not Like Us.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is really shocking to me because now he's really pushing this, and this is the I don't think Drake got the video for Back to Back. So you shooting a video for Not Like Us, calling this man a pedophile. So that's going to be interesting, and I do think maybe not this year, but for sure soon we probably going to get some more Kendrick music. I feel like he back out, so I don't think he's gonna go back in the house on this one. So I think he is gonna do some stuff.
Yeah, I think he should drop something, man. I think he should drop something this year. Maybe it's too early. I know he's a perfectionist. He's going to want to take time to cook. But I feel like he should capitalize on the momentum, this West Coast unity thing. He's got to drop a West Coast anthem that ain't just a Drake diss, man. That's one thing he's got to do to add to his set list. Because after a while, it's going to look weird performing this song, man.
Yeah.
Okay, he can't do Not Like Us in 5 years. It's gonna sound strange, man. So he's got to create a West Coast anthem that's not about dissing a single rapper. But yeah, we'll see what he does, man. I think he should capitalize and drop something, at least some more new tracks that are not diss related this year. But it's looking up for Kendrick, man. I gotta say, I really didn't expect this when we go into this beef, man. I'll say that much. I thought he had the potential, but I didn't think it would go like this.
I didn't either. I started questioning myself a little bit because I'm like, we never heard Kendrick in action like this. Maybe he's not about that. And I think he took like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm thinking like, It's probably gonna be some bullshit. So I had no idea expect that, and clearly Drake and everybody else didn't.
Oh no.
So even just the strategic part of it, dropping when I still can't believe that, man. This dude walked all over his song, man. Family Matters. So yeah, man. This might have been the I guess this beef probably motivated Kendrick a little bit.
Oh, definitely did, man. Definitely did.
Because as much, I never really went back to that last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, but you might actually get a normal Kendrick Lamar album this time. You might get a Kendrick Lamar with a little more DJ Mustard, some West Coast type stuff. Maybe that motivated him, man.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like when 9/11 happened. I know this is a wild comparison, but when 9/11 happened and everybody in America was unified for like a short, brief moment, we were like, nah, fuck this. We ain't taking this shit.
America.
That's kind of what happened when Drake did the stuff where he was like trolling, doing the Tupac voice, doing the Snoop voice. When people saw that as disrespect and flexing the Tupac ring,
yeah,
that was their 9/11, man. That was a West Coast 9/11, and now everybody's unified.
He said, "I get more respect in LA than you do."
Yeah. So West Coast niggas are notoriously territorial. So yeah, this is like their 9/11. Now they're unified and going against Drake. So I get it.
So no more killing in LA now.
No more press ratio. I could finally go out there and wear my Astros hat and not get killed, right? Because we in unity, right? We all good now, right? The hat thing is funny, man. Niggas still making videos about that too. Here are 10 hats you cannot wear when you go to LA. Don't wear the Boston Red Sox. Press ratio 1,000%. Like, dog, shut the fuck up. You can't wear a hat. I bet a white person could wear any hat they want and not get pressed. But if I'm black, I gotta watch what hat I wear. Fuck out of here, man.
Hey, we talk about the Eagles and the Packers going to Brazil for that NFL game.
We didn't, but I heard about it.
Yeah, and they apparently it's a lot of gang colors that's green.
Mm-hmm.
And so they told them that I guess they got to wear all black or something like that whenever going to the game or something. I'm like, that, like, and look, I ain't no game member or nothing, but won't you feel like if you feel like these are Americans that's coming over to play a football game, American football, you would kind of give that a pass a little bit? Just imagine, like, it's not like game members out here killing everybody, right? They usually go for their ops, if I'm not mistaken. So you will look at Jalen Hurts as an op if he's wearing an Eagles jersey or something, or Eagles hat. It's like, I guess it was really a big deal where they told them to watch what they wear over in Brazil. It's like it green, like, I don't know if the NFL really did their homework or anything like that, but why would you send the two green teams over to Brazil?
Isn't their flag green?
Yes.
Isn't that their national color? Why the fuck is some sacred gang color?
I have no idea, man. But I'm like, dang it. Yeah, so I'm kind of looking at the gang members a little funny. He's like, dog, these are some Americans that don't know anything about this country. They ain't trying to do nothing but play ball.
And what's gonna happen if they go out and wear green on the field? Somebody's gonna walk up and shoot them. Like, what the fuck is gonna happen, man?
Yeah, and I'm not sure. And honestly, I'm not sure if this was more towards like some fans that be over there or something like that, rocking some, Eagles or Packers stuff. But you shouldn't. You kind of have an idea who's into it and who's not. If you see some fat white dude from Wisconsin wearing a Aaron Rodgers jersey or something, like, I'm sure you ain't gonna be that damn offended. I don't know. It's wild, man.
It's very silly, man. Like, this whole shit about the colors. I thought this shit died in the 90s, man. I didn't know motherfuckers were still tripping over this shit. Air 23, what's up? Air 23 on YouTube says, can't even wear my Astros cap in Cali. Yeah, that was the. Well, I remember when the first press ratio video came out, and they said that was like the worst one to wear, the Astros hat, because it has an H on it, and that's the Hoover Gang, Crips, or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, man.
Shout out to Schoolboy Q.
Yeah, ridiculous. The whole I can't rep my sports team over in your city because you got some gang shit going on that I don't know the fuck about. It's crazy, man. It's really silly and juvenile when you think about it.
Hey, I'm more impressed that some dudes in Cali rocking the Astros hat.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder if they have a meeting to decide what's going to be their attire in this gang, man.
Yeah,
I don't know how these decisions get made, but
yeah, it's funny because like we used to do that too, like with hoods. So like I was from Leonard Crave, Angeles, and obviously we wore some LA hats. So you probably find some pictures with me in the Dodgers hat, but it wasn't because I was a fan of the Dodgers. But it was just, I don't know. We never got together like, hey, like what kind of hat you want to wear? Hey, let's wear this hat. It wasn't nothing like that, but it also wasn't that damn serious if somebody came over in another hat and we felt offended or nothing. But I don't know. I'm not a gang member, so I'm the wrong person to talk about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing is silly. Like, oh, you got these colors on, so I gotta fuck with you. Like, I don't know, man. It sounds like some video game shit. Like in Halo, they had the red team and the blue team. You had to kill each other for no reason just because you red and blue. So
I'm over here looking at the 10 most gang affiliated hats in sports.
10. Oh, the complex. I bet some white dude wrote this shit, man.
Yeah, this
Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, so that's the LA Rolling 60s. I think that's what is that what Russell Westbrook claimed?
Yeah, I think so. Russell Westbrook being a gang member is hilarious. He gonna tattletale on a dude who made fun of him in the game, but he's some hardcore gang member.
It's not Westbrook, it's Westbrook. Number 9.
Oakland A's, number 9.
Almighty Ambrose Nation. I think that's Chicago. That's some Chicago stuff. The Georgia Hoyas. I didn't even know they had a hat for that.
Yeah, I mean, Gangster Disciples. I don't get why. Okay, the Hoyas acting as an acronym for Hoover's on your ass.
Oh shit! Okay,
that's another. Okay. These acronyms niggas be coming up with be killing me too, man. Hoya means Hoover's on your ass. All right.
Yeah.
It's Twins. Yeah. Okay. 49ers. Can't even rep your own team in LA, man. The Interlock. Okay. Pirates, number 5 for Latin Kings. Okay.
Pyru. Pyru.
Oh, 4 is Houston Astros. Hey, see, we got some LA love apparently.
Yeah, People Nation, Folk Nation, and the Bloods, LA Hoover Criminals.
Puro Tango Blast. So we got gangs in Houston where if you Astros gear.
Have you heard of them?
Puro Tango Blast. I have I'm gonna ask one of my friends who knows more about this gang shit. He's a Peruvian, but he be around these fucking Latino gangs. I'm gonna ask him about the Puro Tango Blast. If he heard of them, but no, I haven't.
Yeah, I guess everybody that goes to the Astros game is part of that clique.
Apparently, they got the ops are at Minute Maid, dog.
Yeah, I got one. Hey, I got one of them hats.
Chicago Bulls, number 3 for the Bloods. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Cincinnati Reds.
Another Blood.
Yeah.
Number 1, Dodgers. Your own Dodgers, man.
I know.
The Crips, Cineros, Latin aspects, and Gangster Disciples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So number 1 most dangerous hat to wear in LA is apparently the LA Dodgers.
Yeah.
So you even rep your own team.
I'll be seeing some little hippie white girls wearing them hats.
Maybe that's why nobody shows up to games in California for their sports teams, man. Like they don't support the Chargers or Rams or any. They're just scared to wear the colors outside. They don't want to get shot.
No, that's probably about right.
Could be. I don't know, man. But there you go. So yeah, watch out. Check the press ratio on your hat before you go anywhere. You got to wear neutral colors.
Yeah.
Other things that have happened this week. Stephen A. Smith, I guess his contract is up, and he wants more money, and he's being offered less. Apparently, he wants $25 million in his new deal. ESPN offered him $18 million. Do you think there's a chance that Stephen A. Smith leaves ESPN?
I don't think so. I don't think he's going nowhere. I think part of the negotiation too was Stephen A. want to do more NFL stuff. So I don't know what that means. Because I know he talk about the NFL a lot, but I don't know if we probably gonna see him more some pre-game NFL countdown, and he probably gonna go to all the Monday night football games and all that stuff. So I feel like if he do get this 25 mil, I would be surprised if they have him on everything. This dude probably be covering NASCAR. He probably be covering tennis and all type of stuff, man. They gonna work him to death.
But did people really? Here's the thing: the NBA Finals coverage of Stephen A. Smith was disgusting, dog. The walk-in videos of him in his fit every single game.
Yeah.
Walking like Sherman Hemsley on the in the intro to Amen. Like, dog, I think Stephen A. Smith gonna drive ratings for First Take no matter what. But I think this idea that he's got to be everywhere is getting played out, man. I think he's worse. He's more of a detriment to NBA coverage than he is a positive. The storylines and shit he brings up, he don't even know shit about his own team, the Knicks, man. He's been exposed for talking about players that have been traded weeks ago, like they're still on the team. Like his knowledge is just not there to really talk about these subjects, man. And I think him on First Take is fine because that's a debate show. That's an argument, whatever, drive ratings through whatever you got to do. But having him on like legit sports broadcasting things is kind of a problem.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think so because he's doing so much.
Yeah.
Like just imagine somebody like him, wherever he go, he got to give a take about something. And if it's NBA countdown, if it's First Take about the Cowboys, or the Cleveland Browns did this, what do you think about that? And you think he know anything about what's going on with the Browns? So that's a lot of sports to cover, man. And let's shoot over to baseball. The Astros got caught cheating. What you feel about this? He's doing a lot, man. But I do think he realized that NFL is king. The NBA is falling flat. It's probably getting worse. And he probably wanted to position himself to cover more NFL stuff. And I don't know if they keep him on the NBA stuff, but I think he's trying to position himself to be more of the part of the NFL because that's where the money is.
That's gonna kill him, man. The NFL audience is not going to be as accepting. Even the NBA audience don't like Stephen A. Smith, but the NFL audience is going to kill him, man. They do not want him all over their shows, all up in the videos, man. He just doesn't know enough about the sport in general. So yeah, it's gonna look. You can't really bullshit your way through an NFL debate. That's the issue. You can bullshit your way through an NBA debate pretty easily because there's things you can just talk about that have no proof, like Michael Jordan has that killer mentality. LeBron don't have that. That's such a stupid thing to say, but there's no proof about it, so you can just kind of bullshit it. Yeah.
Or even with the numbers, you could say LeBron is better than Jordan because look, he got the most points in history and all this other stuff. And you could say who cares because the rings and all. It's so much you can get around with debating that, but in the football, the stats really don't lie. You don't really look at Aaron Rodgers' stats and be like, oh no, he's not better than this person, or like you really can't debate that. It's like this dude got more passing yards, so this is the better person.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really bullshit your way and stat your way through an NFL debate. It's got to be, gotta have knowledge of the game, man.
Yeah.
And Stephen A. Smith just doesn't have that. I don't think he has enough time in the day to watch the NFL on a close level like that. So he's just going to look at the box scores, look at the highlights, and kind of draft his opinion off that. But it's not enough, man. It's not going to work. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm super interested to see how this all works, because if he do get this money and they do put him on more NFL coverage, like I could see him being on the Monday night Monday night football countdown, where he's right there next to whoever, and it's just gonna get a little frustrating, man. I think if he do that, like I feel like he needs to let go of the NBA. He need to let go of something else. He can't do NBA countdown and NFL countdown and all these other shows, man. I think he really need to focus. If he want to go football, he need to go only football. He got to get something else go. And NBA ain't worth keeping. Like I pass it on to somebody else, but the NBA ain't worth keeping.
Yeah, I don't see him ever completely leaving the NBA coverage, because that's what made him. But yeah, I think his ultimate goal is to leave sports altogether and go into more entertainment. And I know he wants to host late night shows. He's talked about that a lot of times. He filled in for Fallon a couple times. He wants to do more acting, I think. He wants to do more general entertainment, political stuff too, like on his podcast. He wants to maybe have a show on Fox or CNN, whichever side of the field he's feeling that time, I guess. Yeah. But I think that's his ultimate goal, man, because you can grift your way through those places, man. You can kind of just say whatever and it'll be okay. In sports, you know, people gonna get tired of your shit.
It's too nerdy, man. Sports can get too nerdy, and them people call you out.
Exactly, but you could just argue based on emotion and politics and all that stuff, and people you'll still draw an audience.
You could draw up something to make yourself look right, and it's nothing wrong with that. People gonna roll with it or not, but in sports you can't do that, and like that's when you're gonna have moments of him saying, "Oh, this Tyson Chandler looked bad on the Knicks last night," and Tyson Chandler been out the league for a long time. You're gonna have moments like that. So I think that's why I think that's just from him doing some of everything. He can't sit at home and break down film and watch all this stuff like somebody that had one job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, man, but I think that's his goal, is to eventually just leave sports altogether and get into another field. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't see him leaving ABC or Disney at any point, man. So we'll see what he does. But
do you think if he do leave, do you think they're gonna take a big hit, or they'll be better off without him?
I think First Take, they might as well cancel it, because the ratings will plummet without Stephen A. Smith. Whenever I see, I won't watch First Take a lot, period. But I'll at least watch some clips when I see Stephen A. Smith on there talking some bullshit. But if I see a clip and he's not there, I'm scrolling right past it, man. I'm not even going to take a second look at whoever the fuck is talking on ESPN.
You want to see Molly and Chris Canty and
Kendrick Perkins and man.
Yeah,
Shannon's bad on First Take, man. I don't know what I think. Really, Shannon and Skip need each other, man. They need each other. Because Shannon be on some bullshit on First Take, man. He don't be adding nothing to discussion most of the time, man. He just be kind of dick riding Stephen A. half the time. So
and I don't know why they put him in basketball conversations.
Yeah,
they need to let him go from that. But I think somebody like Shannon Sharp, man, the way he's doing his podcast and the club Shay Shay and all that stuff, I think that's his lane.
Yeah,
I don't think, to me, I guess because him and Stephen A. are boys, but I don't need to hear what Shannon got to say about the Cowboys signing or whoever. Like, I feel like he's more of an entertainer now, and he should focus on Club Shay Shay, focus on what's the podcast with Ocho Cinco.
Oh yeah, nightcap. I think.
Nightcap. Yeah, I think he should do. I think that's his lane. I think he's more entertaining like that. I don't want to hear what Shannon Sharp got to say about the Texans, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think that's his lane. He wants to be in that lane. So, yeah, I don't need to see him on first take no more. But yeah, I think in terms of ESPN being hurt by Stephen A. Smith leaving, they definitely wouldn't have the number one sports show in first take anymore, man. I think the ratings would plummet without him. So they need him for that at least. But everything else, I think, would kind of improve, man. I think NBA Countdown might improve without him being there. I think not having him just on a random whatever show yelling or whatever he's doing might help. But in terms of the war for the best, most highest rated sports show or talk show, the sports talk show, it would have to be first take, and it would plummet without him. It would die without him. So,
yeah. How you feel about Charles Barkley saying he's retiring after next season?
I'll believe it when I see it because he does this a lot, man. He always says he's retiring, and people have pointed out it might be a negotiation tactic, even though he said that no matter what, it's going to be his last season.
Yeah.
He's still under contract for 10 years. He just signed a 10-year contract with TNT, man. Now, I'm sure it has a clause where he can leave if he wants to retire. He's not going to work until he's 70, I'm sure. But he's still under contract, man. And TNT put out a statement, or WB, or whoever it was. They said, we appreciate, basically they said, look, we appreciate everything he's done. We ain't talked about this yet. So we will talk about this and have discussions. But they didn't say it like, oh, we appreciate everything he's done and wish him the best. No, they said it like, nah, he ain't leaving until we're done with him. So yeah, I don't know if he's gonna retire yet, man. I'll believe it when I see it. I do think he'll definitely leave if the TNT does not have Inside the NBA next year or after next year, you would imagine he'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Charles Barkley ain't someone to me to just leave a bag on the table.
Yeah.
He could have retired a long time ago, I'm sure, and he still keeps doing this. So I think if the bag is big enough, he will go.
Yeah, my initial thought before he made this announcement was maybe some type of company or podcast company or something like that give him a bag to keep this Inside the NBA type show going, but just use it as a podcast type thing. And I feel like if they give him the right type of bag, I feel like all of them would do it.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought maybe because I know Ernie ain't going nowhere. He said he ain't leaving Turner, so he gonna stay there. But the NBA, it ain't gonna be no NBA with Turner after next season, so they going back to NBC. So I figured maybe Shaq, Kenny, and Charles will probably go to NBC somehow. And yeah, so I was kind of shocked him saying, I ain't doing anything after that. So maybe it could be a lie, but I'm kind of curious what they're gonna do with NBC because they need some people over there. I don't know who they're gonna grab, but they need some people over there. I feel like they would have been perfect for that.
Yeah. And like I said, I think if the bag is big enough, he'll do it. But I believe it when I see it, man. In general, I just don't think Charles Barkley's just gonna leave and just not do anything for the next until he dies.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be somewhere doing commentary on something. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. I don't know. But it looks like next season of Inside the NBA probably gonna be the last one. So appreciate it while it's here. But
yeah,
everything comes to an end. So
yeah.
Do you have an issue with Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend allegedly?
Do I have an issue? No, but do I think it's a little? Am I kind of intrigued what the hell they be talking about and what they got in common? Yes, I'm very intrigued with that. I do think it's a little bit strange. I can't look, man. If I could sit here and say, Drea and Jalen Green dating is a little bit strange. I can't look the other way with this, man. 72 and 24 that's a big ass age difference, man. Look, I mind my business. You know, I'm not mad at it or anything like that, but I can't sit here and say that ain't a little bit strange.
I mean, it is strange, but look, I feel like it's a come up. Or when do women stop think? When does it not become a sugar mama empowerment thing? That's what I'm confused about. Because in some cases, it's like, oh, when it was what's her name, Lori Harvey in Diddy, it was go ahead, get your money, queen, go ahead, get that bag. But this is weird.
Yeah,
it's for some people, and I'm like, what's the difference?
Yeah,
like it's still a sugar baby, sugar daddy type situation, man. And look, I'm sure probably ain't nothing going on in that bedroom. He just wants a little cute little thing beside him to take to parties while he can just do whatever and enjoy the rest of the time he got left, man. I don't really see an issue with it. It would be weird if she was like 19. But 24 is a grown ass woman, man. I don't see an issue with it personally.
I'm just kind of curious like just being Bill Belichick, knowing how old you are, and this 24-year-old girl, you know in the back of your mind, man, she probably don't care for me like that. She probably just here for my money. Like, I wonder how that gotta feel. Do he like? Clearly, he don't give a damn. But I wonder how that feels to know you're not really that wanted, and you're only she only here because of the money.
Look, it's the same mentality of going to a strip club, man, okay? Now, we all know that the stripper don't really like us, all right? But we like the idea that she does. Okay? We can lie to ourselves, be like, hey, I'm just here for a good time. I know she probably ain't having a good time, but I don't care. She make me feel good, so fuck it. That's how he feels, man. He knows what this is. He's not stupid, but he just don't care. Hey, fuck it. If it's worth it having peace around me, I'll let somebody leech off my money. If she's nice and cooks for me and rubs my back and it doesn't cause me any drama and shit, I'll just give her some money that I got plenty of anyway. She just goes her own way and leaves me alone. I get it. So, yeah, man, at his age, he ain't going to find love, man. Come on. He ain't going to find love at 72 years old being Bill Belichick. So, look, if you going to get stuck with a hoe regardless, it might as well be a 24-year-old hoe.
Yeah. I'm just curious how long it's going to last. Is this going to last? Is it going to get serious? Is he potentially going to get engaged? I doubt it. He would have been engaged at this point, but I'm just kind of curious how far this going to go, man.
We'll see, man. Might take it to the grave. He ain't got, look, he's 72. So, look, I don't know. He takes care of himself, but I don't know. I think he's bored without having a coaching gig. So,
yeah,
we'll see. Anything else happened this week? I think that might be about it for the most part.
Let me make sure
making sure nothing happened. There's something we didn't talk about. Oh yeah, we never talked about that Bun B trial, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Were you bothered at the allegations, the idea that Bun B was snitching by going on the stand against the guy who he shot, by the way, who ran up on him and did a home invasion and terrorized his wife.
Had a gun up to his wife.
Yeah. And people tried to say the Bun B testifying was snitching. How do you feel about that, man?
Nah, man. I think, look, man, but I'm the wrong person to be sitting there talking about snitching and not snitching and all that stuff. But if you've been following Bun B for the last couple years, man, you know this dude is in a whole different headspace. This is business. This is Bun B, the businessman. The B stand for businessman. So he's not out there trying to like live this gangster ass life and all this other stuff, man. This dude running around like he about to prepare to run for mayor. So him, like I ain't blinked twice at him testifying, man. That had to be a scary situation. Come downstairs and a guy got a gun to your wife's head and all this stuff. You tussling with the guy and all this. So nah, man. People, people, it's fun. It's always the keyboard warriors that's sitting there trying to explain what street stuff is. And whenever I go through these comments too, man, I'll be really shocked seeing some of the women that act like they just know this street code and all this other stuff. And it's supposed to be no women. No women and kids. That's the code. And like, there's no freaking code in the streets, man. Sure, I done seen kids get killed, man. And look, nobody. It's sad to say, but it wasn't like, oh, that's not part of the rules and all this other stuff, man. Look, Bun B looked out for his family. Salute to him. Hell, I would have did the same thing, man. He lucky. Honestly, he lucky he ain't shoot. He ain't kill him because he could have easily killed the dude. But nah, man. I don't care about that, man.
Now, according to the streets, he was supposed to kill him. He's not. He was to kill a young black man and just send him to the grave early, and not have him go to prison and have a chance to rehabilitate his life, man. That's the street code. All right.
I think honestly, if he would have did that, I think that probably could have affected him like business wise more than we think. And even though, the guy was totally in the wrong and, you in Texas, so I'm sure you could do that without doing no jail time, but that would have looked bad on his brand. Him actually, being involved in a murder, even though he was, in the right of it. But I think he did the right thing because now nobody really blinks an eye. Everybody kind of feel the sympathy, and everybody, is kind of leaning towards Bun B side with this instead of, oh, this dude killed somebody. He killed the kid because it's gonna be people that's like, oh, why did he had to kill him, man? And then they probably gonna bring up his music and all this other stuff. And I think Bun B is just in a whole different space where he's trying to, he got Trill Burger going. He's trying to get some other restaurants going. And he's just in a whole different space, man. Like the last time I talked to him, what's crazy is, so I don't know if I mentioned it on this podcast, but when I was at the Houston Sports Awards, I was interviewing random people on the red carpet. And I decided to wear some Crocs on the red carpet. It was some what was it? Some type of little fancy Lisa something Crocs. And so I had a full-blown suit with some Crocs on. And I was my whole shtick was asking people how they feel about me wearing Crocs on the red carpet. And some people are just like, I don't really care for it. And I think Lance McCullers was like, nah, that's not really my style. But Bun B, I asked him, I thought he was gonna be like, nah, man, we don't, we real G's, we don't wear that. And he was just like, are they comfortable? I'm like, yeah, they super comfortable. You're like, man, then rock them then, man. Like, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. And he just spit some wisdom, man. And so I just think he's in a whole different space now, man. And I think if let's say that scene went totally different and he ended up killing some guy. I don't know how old he was. Maybe let's say he was a kid or something like that. But let's say that happened. That, even though he wasn't he wasn't wrong, but that would have kind of looked bad. People would have kept bringing that up, like, "Oh, you killed the kid," like just like how they do with Brandy. How everybody always bring up that car accident with Brandy, how she's a murderer and all that stuff. And people weird out here, man. People will be saying how he's wrong for that. He shouldn't have did that. So I think he did the right thing, man.
Yeah. I did see somebody was talking about the street code and Bun B shouldn't be snitching. And then somebody pulled up. This dude was a black dude at an anime convention in full like costume too, man. He wasn't just there. He was decked out in the shit. So I'm like, yeah, I definitely believe what you say about the street code and snitching, man. I'm sure you really in the street in the field like that. All right.
Man, that'd be the funny. Like, if you look through the comments, first of all, I'm always intrigued that people on social media explaining to me how the streets are and all this other stuff. And you sitting here on social media, that's the first intriguing thing for me. But if you actually look at the people that's talking about this, It's like, dude, like you don't strike no fear in me at all, man. Like, nah, man. Some of the toughest people I know never been on social media. And you sit here telling me that you would have did the time and you wouldn't have said nothing, or if he would have killed your wife, you would have just had to deal with it. Like, dog, nah, man. People was crazy.
Yeah, this is one of those topics that the fact that he was even being discussed just make me disappointed. You know, there's a tweet I always reference when shit like this happens. There was a girl who tweeted this shit. She said, in my heart, I know the black community can't be saved, but it hurts my feelings to admit it. That's how I feel when I see things like this being discussed seriously, man. I'm like, there's really no hope for us, but I don't want to admit it. So I just push these things in the back of my head. That's why I didn't even talk about on the podcast till just now.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that we talk about and accept that just make me sad to think about the state of our community and society and the way we think and our mentality. So that's all I got to say about it, man. It's just too depressing to even think that people fucking discuss this seriously on social media.
It's the same evergreen snitching conversation, man. Is this snitching or is that not snitching? It's an evergreen topic on our social media airwaves, man.
Yeah. And I think the Gunna thing is different because this is something a criminal organization you were a part of.
Yeah.
Okay. Affiliated with. That is I think this be the general definition of snitching is when you're involved in some dirt and you tell on somebody else or somebody in your own group to get yourself a more lenient sentence.
Yeah.
It is not going to the police, period. if some fucked up shit happens, it's snitching. Come on, man.
Yeah, they tried to do that with Lil Baby. Not Lil Baby, but Da Baby. Somebody pulled I think it was like some surveillance footage of him in the police like interrogation room, and they're like, "Oh, look at him talking to the police." And Lil Baby was like, "I was literally there telling them nothing. I was telling them I don't know what's going on." And then they pulled the audio, and he was literally sitting there. Yeah, I don't know what happened. So I'm like, y'all are pressed.
Even if you look at a cop that's snitching, man, okay, you better divert your eyes and act like you don't see nothing. Don't say nothing.
Yeah, don't smile at the cop. You part of
like a 6-foot vicinity. So yeah,
I just
sad state of affairs, man.
I hate that we here where you saving a little kid's life by calling the cops. Now you a snitch. I think Cameron was part of the problem too because
100%, 100%.
This dude talk about he would just move away if he knew he lived next to a serial killer. Like, man, shut the hell up, man. That was the most stupidest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, he definitely had. Like, that was more embarrassing because that was something that made us as people look really stupid, I feel, man. And I hate saying that because I hate, this idea that one black person represents black people. But this guy was a prominent rapper with a big fan base, man. He went on 60 Minutes.
Talking to Anderson Cooper.
People did not know who he was. And he go out there and says, I wouldn't call the police for a serial killer live next to me. I'll just move.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, man.
Anderson Cooper sitting there like, he coming up with all these scenarios like, what if a serial killer lived next door to you? You know he's killing people. Like, would you not snitch? You could tell he's literally trying to understand this.
Yeah.
He was just like, I'll take my family and move away. Like, what?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was bad. But, this whole conversation just makes me sad, man. I prefer not to even think about it because some of our mentality, the way we talk about these things is just, it's not healthy, man. It's not healthy for people to really think like this and think this is how the world works. But, we're here now. Can't do nothing but observe the fire.
Yeah.
Watch it from far away. Keep your family safe. That's all I could say.
What Kendrick Lamar say? LeBron and them keep the family away.
Yep. Speaking of which, LeBron was at the was there, man.
Him and Savannah, they're dancing.
Yep. Yeah. That of all the friendships ended, that one is still crazy to me, man. Because I feel like him and Drake and LeBron were really close.
Yeah.
I feel at least from what we've seen in the interviews and all that stuff, and LeBron has always supported Drake throughout his entire career. Drake had that huge song on the LeBron movie.
Yeah.
The Forever song. Like they've been linked up since the beginning of Drake's career.
Yeah.
And now it seems like it's completely falling apart.
Yeah.
I want to know I don't know if we're ever going to know what happened, but I want to know what happened.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. I'm like, damn, maybe like I'm not sure if Drake tried to hit on Savannah somehow, because that's where it really started, where people really was noticing how it seemed like Savannah was doing a little extra shade during this whole beef thing, because you didn't really see LeBron react to it. It was more Savannah like dancing the most to the song. It's like, why she must have a problem with Drake or something. And maybe that's it, because I think we talked about it too, how Mac 10 and Ice Cube stopped being cool because their wife, I think it was Ice Cube wife, because I guess Mac 10 did something where Ice Cube had to respectfully break it off. But I wonder if it was something like that where Savannah he tried to do something, or Savannah didn't like what he did, and she like, nah, you can't, I don't want you around him.
I mean, it seemed like the fact that LeBron knew the words to Not Like Us and was rapping along with it was crazy to me, man. Now I could see him just vibing. Maybe he could just be there, but to know the words, and LeBron don't know the words to a lot of songs, man. He's been exposed for this. It seemed like he knew the words to this song, which means he played it back a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's something between them that happened, man. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was some shady business thing. I don't know. But it's kind of crazy how quickly that's falling apart.
And I feel like a lot of fallouts with Drake is over like women too.
Yeah.
So, I know LeBron married, and like I said, I ain't trying to assume nothing, but it seemed like everybody that fall out with Drake is over a woman. So that's something to keep an eye out on, man.
It is, man. It is. I don't know who Drake's new NBA bestie is at this point, man. Does he have any NBA friends left? I don't know. Who's in a Drake camp as far as NBA players go?
Yeah,
Maybe some of the Raptors.
Who played for the Raptors?
He has a WNBA team apparently that he's linked up. Maybe he's gonna use that.
He's gonna date somebody from there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Any other WNBA news happen? I saw Angel Reese has been putting up some points. She had and I saw Caitlin Clark's been on a winning streak with the Fever too. So there you go. That's the WNBA news for the week.
Yeah.
Two players we care about.
Yeah, I'm about to say we ain't got to break down that foul. Remember, Angel Reese got a flagrant for a foul or something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody using the word assault and all this other BS. I'm just like, man, y'all making not fun.
Really.
I was actually looking forward to watching some more WNBA games and all that, but I'm like, man, y'all do not make this fun at all.
Yeah, it's become tiring at this point, but I think things will level out. As far after this season, I think things will calm down. But this season, the tension gonna be high. So we'll see.
How crazy would it be if Angel Reese win Rookie of the Year?
Not that crazy.
Really?
Not that crazy. I mean, what's rookie is better than her?
I mean, no, I think it's even crazy that she having a better year than like a Caitlin Clark, because it seemed like everybody else just kind of gave it to Caitlin Clark before she was even drafted. So out of all the people, I think she went number 7 overall, but like she won Rookie of the Year over Caitlin Clark, who everybody been pretty much putting them against her. I think that's kind of impressive. I think that's kind of dope, man. I think she deserved it, man.
No, definitely. I mean, and the fact that Caitlin Clark went to a worse team, so, and then she has to her style is going to have to be more modified for this WNBA physical play, man. I think Angel Reese, even though she's lacking offensively, I think her style just translates better to this league now than Caitlin Clark's does. She's smaller. She's not quick enough yet. Can't get her in the shot, be inconsistent. Angel Reese has no outside shot at all. At least she's more physical and she can impact the game like that.
Yeah, that's Draymond Green right there. That's the female Draymond Green.
I did see a clip of Angel Reese dribbling on a fast break, and she double dribbled like 3 times. I'm like, and nobody called it. I'm like, yeah.
Now, I told you last week what got me was somebody posted Angel Reese with the slam.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, oh, she about to, man, that girl did the worst looking layup I ever seen.
Yeah, just threw it up. Yeah. Yeah. The league got still a ways to go visually, but it'll get there. Probably.
Lower the rim.
I can't say that. That's sexist, Biggie. All right, I think that might about does it. We're at the 2-hour mark exactly, almost. So we could probably go ahead and wrap this up here. Everybody, thank y'all for joining us on this early edition of the podcast. Make sure you check out Atomic Wings. Ask for the Wang. Tell them Figgy sent you.
Yes.
Stay locked in to In the Loop, of course, 10 to 2, Sports Radio 610. Figgy, they all breaking down the lead up to training camp. And we'll be back next week. And until then,
peace.